Today in the crypto space, we see the market still going sideways, Bitcoin at 29,000 and Ethereum at 1,800. The rest of the crypto space, the altcoins are looking for an opportunity to bounce to those higher levels. However, guys, we may be getting some short-term volatility to the downside where we can buy those dips. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about one altcoin that has retraced and is looking for a nice bullish bounce, and the hype is definitely there. And that project is called Myria. So you know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunities. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, all we want to do is stay one step ahead of that market so that we can capitalize on any volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below or hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description, but better yet, join that Discord group. Guys, I have a lot of socials obviously in the description below. Discord, Telegram, all of that good stuff. Go check it out. It's a great community, great place to look at some of the alpha that we post on a daily basis. All right, let's get into it. Bitcoin going sideways, Ethereum going sideways, and many of these altcoins still grinding at the bottom of the range, going sideways. And this is an opportunity to potentially look for accumulation setups where we can buy nice and low at levels of potential support and, very clear risk to reward ratio opportunities, and then get in for a potential rally to the upside. And now we're seeing a lot of these altcoins potentially showing some of that strength, like Solana. Nice rounded bottom. I like that. Confirmations maybe ready to be due here. If we get any signs of bullish divergence here on Solana on these bottoms, this final, little dip could be a higher low. If we get a higher low, it's a confirmation low, and it could be that we get that follow through on that bullish divergence. Guys, we're going to take a look at Solana in tonight's live stream. We have a lot of coins that we want to take a look at, and of course, come live, join live so that you can request them, and then we'll take a look at the charts live as a community. Solana, I'm going to put on the list. I'm interested. I want to see what's going on there with Solana at the bottom of the range, and we have many altcoins doing a very similar pattern. Shiba Inu taking that big retracement, as you can see, decent retracements after a nice rally to the upside. Sideways price action I can see here pretty much everywhere. AVAX getting a bit of relief up, but nothing crazy. Very similar to what Solana is doing right now, getting a bit of relief to the upside, maybe breaking a bit of structure, creating higher highs. Very, very possible. These short-term highs are meant to be broken eventually, so let's pay attention to that, and maybe a back test of lower levels for a better entry might be in the works very soon. So let's take a bit of scroll down, and we can see that many altcoins right now are very, very similar. They're getting very similar patterns here. Chainlink going sideways, bottom of the range again, up 1%, but nonetheless, we're waiting for this double bottom to play out. Maybe a good accumulation phase for Chainlink. What else? Pullbacks, ICP. 2%, but it did rally up significantly earlier on, for sure. Hedera Hashgraph. Look at HBAR. HBAR did well. HBAR did very well. It rallied up. We talked about HBAR perfectly at about 3 or 4 days ago. And prior to the pump, we rallied up, taking profits, and now we're retracing back down a little bit. Could this be an opportunity just to get in for another wave to the upside? Very, very possible here on HBAR that we could see HBAR get to those higher levels. So far so good here for HBAR. For those of you that are in it, pretty good, not bad, 6% in the last 7 days. And as a swing trader, I look for bigger moves. I look for longer moves that, give me double-digit gains. And right now, HBAR could be due for continuation where we can definitely see that. Okay, so I might take a look at HBAR tonight for sure. I'm going to put that one on the list as well. So far we have Solana and HBAR. And if you do make any requests, guys, I'll put them in priority, obviously. Put them at the top of the list. Let's continue down. Very sideways. Nothing really that crazy, interesting. Filecoin grinding up very slowly. A bit of a retracement maybe. Optimism looking strong. Our optimism trade is still in the green. I'm thinking about taking more profits very soon. Looking really, really good. Maybe we'll take a look at OP. as well to see exactly what's going on there with OP. It's been showing a lot of strength. Caspa still hanging around there, still hanging around, grinding to the upside, but showing a bit of weakness. Not to say that it's dipped, but the strength in the move is not there anymore. You can see that it kind of hesitant, very sideways. The volume is not there. The overall sentiment in the market is feeling like maybe Caspa is overbought in the short term. And to be honest, I feel the same way, guys. Don't be getting into fresh longs currently. Solana has been going up significantly in the last little while, and now is the time to potentially get into a defensive strategy rather than offensive and buying in right now. You should be waiting for lower levels, taking a bit of profit, maybe collecting some dry powder upon a dip so that you can get in at lower levels. Right now, Caspa did very, very well. Okay, let's continue. Algo showing some strength here, 3% to the upside in the last 24 hours. I'm hoping, I'm rallying behind a lot of these altcoins. I want a lot of these layer ones to do very well. Algorand being one of them. I want to see Phantom back to its tops. I want to see Solana make an amazing comeback. And that's the thing. And we're going to get new projects. We are going to get new layer ones. We're going to get new software solutions here that we're going to have to, obviously take advantage of. But these older projects do have a network. They do have a name. They do have, a good community. And at the end of the day, I'm expecting them to do well again. XDC taking a bit of a pullback here, going sideways in the last little while, but you got to admit, XDC did very well. It did rally up, and small pullbacks along the way are absolutely normal and healthy. Generally speaking here, the market is going sideways. We have Galagains getting a little bit of a pump, but a retracement as well, 4%. So this is how it is. This is what sideways, bear market accumulation look like. We do get rallies, but we also get deep retracements. And that's how we get that sideways type of price action that gives us that opportunity to accumulate, right? So that's the thing here, guys. Rallies are here, dumps are here, and sideways price action is definitely here. So take advantage of it, guys. What else do we have? Nothing really. We got roll big, continuing to the upside, 6.7% to the upside. Great momentum to the upside. But guys, it's like, after, 60% in 7 days, what else do you expect this thing to do? That's the thing. The majority of the move in my book is already done. It's become a larger cap project with regards to, altcoins in, $400 million market cap, for me is starting to become a mid cap type of altcoin type of thing, right? So I would be very hesitant. How much more growth could this actually have? And if you've bought in at the bottom, if you bought in nice and early, guys, be prepared to take those profits, because at the end of the day, we are in an accumulation phase. All right, guys, generally the consensus is we're in sideways still, very, very sideways. We're getting some grinds to the upside where we do see some altcoins go rogue, but overall, guys, sideways price action it is. All right, guys, I know you're here to talk about charts, so let's get right into it. We'll take a look at Bitcoin as a leading indicator first, and then we'll talk about Myria, the project for today, because at the end of the day, I think that thing has retraced and we are building a current level of potential support where we are getting a confirmation. But Bitcoin currently still hesitating within the range, the second range right here, going sideways at about 29,000, bouncing around this level. Could we be coming down for further dips? Very, very possible. MACD is looking okay. RSI holding up just a little bit, maybe a bit of a relief up to about 30,000. Very, very due. Let's look at this in a little bit more detail, and then we'll jump into the Myria chart. The overall momentum right now is pretty stagnant. You got to admit here, we're pretty much in the chop zone. We do see that we are respecting a bit of a trend line here on the RSI. But because we're in the chop zone, hovering around that 50% mark on the RSI, I'm expecting that eventually we should break out of this. We should break out bullish or bearish. Now, my opinion is that I would be glad to see a full reset to oversold conditions on Bitcoin. Now, if it does happen, expect further down, expect more of a dip, expect all coins to take a strong dip to the downside. The MACD currently is looking for a potential crossover on the EMA. So we're going to potentially see some green histogram bars, and that is quite bullish, guys, in the short term. Now, if that does happen, maybe that momentum will start shifting to the upside, right? So you can understand why I'm very hesitant. It's because, the overall momentum hasn't fully reset, and we're getting into a situation where it's a bit of a coin toss. It's a 50-50 coin toss. Do we bounce bullish out of this consolidation, or did we break down from this consolidation? And the edge that the MACD is giving us is a little bit bullish, you got to admit, but at the end of the day, there's no real confirmations here. So what we want to do is see Bitcoin kind of break a trend. We want to see Bitcoin give us a pattern. We want to see Bitcoin show us a bit of insight as to what it plans on doing in the immediate short term so that we can react accordingly. Right now, Bitcoin, not really interested. I am not. I'm looking at altcoins. I'm looking at good low caps, mid caps, good projects with great fundamentals. And guys, I've been doing deep dives every Sunday. Go check those out. The latest deep dive is here on Octa Space. I found it to be very, very interesting project. A lot of good details there. If you're interested in Octa Space, I suggest that you go check this video out. All right, let's take a look at Myria. And Myria is another project that I'm really interested in. A lot of good hype as well, a lot of good talk in the market, and that for me is one of the things that I want to look for is a project that is not stagnant with regards to community. I like community, right? It's not a community token, but this project does have fundamentals, and I'm due for a deep dive on Myria. But at the end of the day, I like the fact that it has a community and a lot of talk. So for me, that's interesting. Now we do see this downward sloping wedge. We broke out of a potential wedge scenario. I did put in a spider line because on this wedge we did not get 3 touches. So let's see if we can get these 3 touches very, very soon to get some confirmations, because right now we're not really getting these touches that I kind of want to see in order to confirm a trend. So we're going to kind of keep this in here, at least for us to keep an eye on the fact that we are still downward sloping. We're creating lower lows and lower highs. With that being said, the question is, are we trying to create a higher low right now? That is what I'm curious about. That is what I'm really, really interested in seeing here for the Myria price action, is to see if this is going to be a higher low. If we get a higher low here, it could be the beginning of potential break of structure. And then, guys, maybe this is the absolute bottom to actually see Myria break out of this descending type of consolidation where we break out bullish, where we can take some more profits off the top. Guys, we got in here. We got up here, we took profits. Very clearly on the channel, this is exactly the setup that I did talk about, and I did post it on the Discord, and I talked about it here on the channel. But now guess what? After the TP, we did fell right back down to pretty much where we entered from. So this gives us the opportunity to basically trade the range. And you can see that right now, the MACD is not looking the greatest. We could potentially getting into a bearish dip as we have done in the past. But overall, the trend is upwards. As soon as we get into the bullish control zone, I'm expecting some good volatility to the upside. So maybe this is going to be our last dip before we actually get into the bullish control zone, and that we see the overall market rally up bullish with regards to momentum. So right now, this is what I'm looking at confirmation low, a higher low. Now, if that's the case, where's our invalidation? Where's our area of interest? My opinion is right now, where I see this, is that we see the bottom of the volume gap being a very interesting level of support. Okay, so at about 0.00133, right around here, this is what I'm interested in. Accumulation right around this zone. And you can see that the previous low currently is the invalidation. If we break below this previous low, guys, it's not looking good. Obviously, we could have a liquidity grab where we continue making those lower lows. And in fact, we could be continuing to create these lower lows based on the fact that the trend is still your friend, lower lows, lower highs. And we do have a potential extension level that we could hit and maintain this bottom trend line here. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, just as a quick update, swing low to swing high, you can see 1.27 extension right around this zone. So I'm going to bring this green arrow a bit down so that we can be real about this. If we do dip, this wouldn't be a bad zone to scale in. And we do have the 1.618 extension. These are all very confluent levels. But the 1.27 has a lot of confluence based on this trend. So if we do dip down and create a lower low, it will be very unfortunate. In that scenario, I would want to see the RSI maintain its trajectory to the upside, giving us a class A bullish divergence. So what I'm trying to do now, guys, is equip you with some of the ideas, right? The ideas that we could have as this price action unfolds. Obviously, guys, I can give you updates every day when I go live at 7:30 Eastern. Feel free to join and request Myria, and I'll definitely pull up the chart. But in the meantime, I can equip you with some of the ideas what to expect here on the price action, so that when it does happen, if any of these scenarios do happen, you are quick to react. Right? So Possible scenario, obviously, is a lower low, getting down to the 1.27, potentially continuing this upward sloping RSI with this bullish divergence still intact. Class A bullish divergence. Double bottom, it could be a Class B bullish divergence with a double bottom, which would still be okay because it would be above invalidation. And what I mean by invalidation is that you can set a stop loss right below the previous lows, cut your losses, and let it dip, and then reaccumulate at 1.27. Or you can not put such a strong stop loss and maybe just say, you know what, I'm going to accumulate a position over time, little by little, small positions at a time, so that way I can DCA right in the zone for potential reaction to the upside. That is also a very viable option. But the second option requires that you get in very small. You're not going to go in too heavy. You're going to get in small, and you're going to DCA right in the zone. We are approaching, in my opinion, a zone where it's time to start accumulation. Okay, so let me show you what I mean here. Let me get a trade set up just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Right around this zone, if you can get in right around here and put your stop loss right underneath this previous low and consider, look, it's invalidated once we break low because we're creating lower lows, and this is it. And then you start taking profits once again right around this area. You're looking at 40% to the upside, a 2 to 1, 2.5 to 1 ratio at the top of the range, at top of the volume gap. You're looking at about 3.5 to 1. Great. This is where it's a great setup. This is a great risk reward ratio for sure. And you're looking at about 50% gains. Great stuff here. Okay. Now, what about if we do come down to this level? Again, you can DCA right in here. Make sure that you put your stop loss slightly below this 1.27 extension. And obviously, in that case, you're going to be able to drag your overall position down and potentially get it right within this area. If you're going to DCA here, you're going to try to double down heavier as you come down and as you approach your invalidation, which would be below the 1.27. To be honest, my invalidations that I like best are horizontals. I'm not using Fibonacci's really for invalidations or even diagonals. I like the horizontals. So if you're going to use diagonals, if you're going to use extension levels, you're going to use other areas of confluence, guys, be careful because horizontals are the ones that you should be putting a lot of validity in. Okay, so horizontals. So if this is the case, let's say you're looking at a better risk to reward ratio and more gains, obviously. All right, but I prefer this one right now. I prefer cutting your losses, trying to scale in right around the zone, basically cut your losses here and then reaccumulate at these lower levels. If we do come down, you reaccumulate here, put in a bit more capital, get a bit more aggressive, and then expect that bounce off of this bottom trend line. In that case, you'll be quick to take some profits, especially after a break of this trend, a break of structure, creating a higher high above the 0.002 level, right around this level, these red arrows. If we break above that, you're actually breaking structure. You're formally starting to create higher highs here. And for me, that's an important thing. Higher highs, higher lows. Higher low right here that we can potentially be, filling in right now. And then if we get a nice bounce to the upside, we start making higher highs. Higher lows and higher highs means that we broke trend, and this was the perfect pivot point after a bullish divergence, okay, follow through price action that confirmed the higher low. Guys, this is perfect, and it's starting to look like a head and shoulders formation, an inverse head and shoulder. Shoulder, head, potential shoulder, break of neckline, leg up. Okay, so you see the setup. This is perfect, a perfect scenario here to start accumulating here on Myria. Guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a huge favor and slap that like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join that Discord, that Telegram, all that good stuff. It's all in the description below. I'm live at 7:30 Eastern talking about crypto news and price action. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.